What's up, Cowboys Nation? It's your boy Mike Keefe here, bringing you more Dallas Cowboys content. And today we're actually going to be going over the Cowboys' third preseason game and what that means for the team. So guys, this was a dress rehearsal, as they put it, wherever the starters are going to be playing more, about a half, some more than others. Some guys are only going to play about the normal 12 snaps, I guess, for what a preseason game normally is. But for others, this is the dress rehearsals. This is to see how guys look and get geared up for the season. Also, during the second half, you're going to be playing your second stringers a lot more, peppered in with some guys that you think might be able to contribute a little bit more on the third team. For the Cowboys, though, their starters look pretty good. I mean, defense, albeit, gave up 2 touchdowns, and one of them being a kind of really bad play by Byron Jones. But Dak looked awesome, looking like he will not have a sophomore slump. It will be interesting to see how he looks week 1 and possibly through week 6. Whenever, I guess, teams won't be as afraid to stack the box against us without Zeke out there. If the suspension holds up, definitely something that will have to be looked at, because now the team would be more on Dak's shoulders. But after tonight's performance and the week before, and after what he did last year, Cowboys have every bit of confidence that that man can go ahead and step up and take over. Alfred Morris and Darren McFadden continue to show that they still have a little bit of push inside their legs, so hopefully there's not a huge drop-off whenever Zeke is gone, but obviously there will be. But hopefully, after seeing what they are still contributing to this team so far throughout preseason, it's looking like it's going to be okay. Ronnie Hillman is another guy who is now, he might make this team if Zeke gets suspended. I mean, really look for that. I mean, he would definitely fit the Lance Dunbar role that is open, but only because Ryan Switzer hasn't been able to play much this preseason, just like a lot of our rookies. I mean, to be honest, there's only been like 2 rookies who played even a couple games, and that's been Taco and Marquez White. Xavier Woods played the first one. He had pretty good pop. He had 6-7 tackles, looked pretty good. Had one wherever he almost forced a fumble. But throughout this game, the wide receiver core and the tight end group looked pretty good as well. Guys that Noah Brown, I don't know if you're doing enough to make this team. He might get tried. The Cowboys might try to stash him away onto the practice squad this year. Andy Jones, you're another guy. I don't see you making the 53 again this year. James Hanna, you look pretty good in your game coming back. On the offensive line, Chaz Green looked a little out of place out there with the ones, it seemed like. I mean, Chaz Green, I know that you're one of the best 5 on this team, but with your injury concerns and all that, I think it might be best for the Cowboys to keep you at swing tackle and let Jonathan Cooper try to play that left guard spot. Not going to say play the left guard spot, but I'll say he's going to try to play that left guard spot, and hopefully teams aren't able to really know that that's the Cowboys' weakest link whenever it comes to this great offensive line, would be to push up against our left guard. And the offensive line is just like a chain link fence. You're only as good as your weakest link. So as great as Tyron and Zach and Travis are, and as good as we hope Lyle can be this year at right tackle, that left guard spot remains a iffy subject for this team, which is another one of our biggest concerns going forward into the season. The defensive line this year, looking okay, you know. Yeah, we're going to miss David Irving for 4 games, and we're going to miss DeMontre Moore for 2 games. Those are 2 guys that throughout last year and this preseason, you know that those 2 are going to be able to contribute to this team this season. Your starting 4 looks like it's going to be DeMarcus Lawrence, Malik Collins, Stephen Paya, and Tyrone Crawford. Tyrone Crawford, be lucky you still got a starting spot because you got such a big contract. You know, that, and you played the run extremely well at that spot wherever we needed to on that left side. But don't be surprised if your job gets taken by Taco Charlton. I mean, Taco, I feel like left end is going to be your position going forward into your career with your size and strength. So Tyrone, watch out, because the guy's been playing okay this preseason. You know, he's gotten 2 sacks. At times he disappears off the tape though, and that's okay, I guess. Not really, but you want to see him play with a little bit more consistency. But right now he's really learning the game, and through 3 preseason games, or 4 preseason games, he's got 2 sacks. Not bad, and definitely a lot more than what I expected going into this process. Stephen Pius pretty much locked up that number 1 technique. I mean, the guy's showing now that he really does fit the Rod Marinelli scheme to a T. I mean, he's playing the run extremely well. I mean, I don't see any drop-off, if not improvement, over what we had last year. So, and Malik Collins continuing to still be a beast. He's going to be damn near, I think that man might make a Pro Bowl this year. You know, if he gets 7 sacks, he had 5 last year. If he gets 7, 8 sacks, that's Pro Bowl worthy. The linebacking core has now become a concern. I'm smacking the button. Button smack. Linebacking core is definitely a concern right now. Anthony Hitchens is out with, I guess, just dealing with seeing how players come back from injuries like this. I'm expecting 6 to 10 weeks. Then coming back after that 10th week, kind of like they were expecting with Romo last year. But for those first 10 games, Jalen Smith is gonna be your starting Mike linebacker. I think the Cowboys, it's kind of like I said in my what does the Jalen Smith debut mean for the Cowboys. It's not what the Cowboys wanted, but it's also, you had this insurance policy for a reason. It's just having to be put into playing a little bit sooner than what you wanted. I hope this does not hurt his long-term recovery. Word I've been hearing is that now that they're going to be putting Justin Durant in on 3rd down in obvious passing situations for Jalen, which as of right now I think fits his strong suit. He definitely has been playing the front 10 yards better than he has the back 10, I guess, without better. I mean, his play against the run in short yardage passes has far exceeded his play whenever he has to take a step back. His lateral movement is not 100% there yet, you know, which is pretty much expected. I mean, we were just happy that he was on the field last week, so not trying to discredit Jalen. I just wish that the Cowboys were able to really follow their medical plan and let you ease back on into it, but you're now thrust into it. Damian Wilson is also gone, probably. Actually, Cowboys still don't know. I guess no news is good news whenever it comes to a suspension with Damian Wilson, but at any day now, Damian Wilson could get suspended for conduct detrimental to the league or something. You know, some stupid shit like that because of his incident about a month back, which now makes your linebacking core Sean Lee, Jalen Smith, and if Damian Wilson does get suspended, then you pretty much have to put Justin Durant at that third linebacker spot, and then you do have to keep Jalen on the field unless they go to two linebackers, and then that would probably be Sean Lee and Justin Durant actually. So I guess they'd still be able to do that and take Jalen off, because Justin Durant showed last year that he has pretty damn good pass coverage skills. I mean, not the best, you know, that's why he's not on another team or nothing, but he has showed that he doesn't look lost out there. Cornerbacks, again, we don't have Cheeto or Jordan Lewis playing this week. They needed this training camp to really get acclimated to the speed of the NFL. I mean, you don't want to have to, I mean, as good as we think that these guys are, you're not going to rush them out there week one and make them take snaps against Odell or Brandon Marshall or Sterling Shepard or something. I mean, come on. I mean, you're going to play with guys who at least have played a couple snaps right now, so that definitely leaves now definitely leaves Nolan Carroll on the team whenever I thought throughout the play of others that he might get pushed off. Now Nolan Carroll is definitely your left starting cornerback. You slide Orlando in on the inside whenever you go into 3 and more receiver sets, and you let Anthony Brown play that right side. But I really was feeling like Jordan Lewis and Cheeto were going to push for Nolan Carroll's starting spot, and in turn, because Marquez White has played really well this preseason, I feel like. I mean, not like he's gotten a pick or something, but he's been keeping everything in front of him right now. He hasn't given up a huge play or something, which is what you're hoping for. He's played better than Leon McFadden. And at the safety spot, you know, like I was talking about, Jeff Heath has been playing okay. I mean, if some other guys were out there more consistently, I never thought Kayvon Frazier was actually going to be pushing for a starting spot this season. I thought Xavier Woods might be able to push him for it, but Jeff Heath is pretty much your starting safety, just because by default, kind of. Byron Jones had a bad play out there wherever he took a pretty bad angle and gave up a pretty big touchdown wherever he left Anthony Brown hanging, because Anthony Brown thought he had over-the-top help, obviously. I mean, he was flailing his arms out around, like, where were you, dude? But we all know how much of a boss Byron Jones is around these parts, so that won't be nothing. Dane Monty Bailey is still out there doing his thing. I mean, just accurate. That's all you gotta say. Dane Bailey is Dane Bailey. He's gonna make points. So that pretty much wraps up the game. The preseason game 4 is actually canceled. The Cowboys are still trying to work out something for the fans and all that, and still you want to get the players work. You know, you don't want to have them just sit till Monday. So the Cowboys are trying to get something going tomorrow at the Star in Frisco. If they do, I'll probably be there, because not only for that, but obviously because the Cowboys are giving all proceeds to the Houston Relief Fund, so our hearts go out to y'all, and anything that I can do, you know, by getting to go see the Cowboys, you know, also is a no-brainer. You know, I wish I could go down there, and just work don't allow it. So, well, guys, until next time, please like. If I guess informed you on anything that you didn't already know, I guess. Comment and let me know who you thought did pretty well in the game that I did not mention, and if I guess you feel better about the linebacking core than I do. You know, obviously I'm hitting the panic button on the linebacking core and probably the left guard spot and offensive line depth. But comment and let me know if you feel better about that. And subscribe if you want to see more coverage like this. I'll try to get up. I'm trying to get the guys together and get a Mayweather McGregor post-fight review. Obviously, we all had our opinion on that already, and it's gonna be pretty interesting to see what Jerome has to say about that. So, stay tuned, guys, and till then, peace.